Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. It's July 15th, and we're joined today for our next Family Information Hour by Mr. Aryeah Mohasses, and he's going to do a really informative presentation on EStars and the EStars Club and all the wonderful things, all the wonderful ways that gaming is sort of tied in and linked to education today, and why you want to make sure that gaming is a part of your child's academic experience. Okay. So Aryeah will be on in about 20 minutes, but first, Gloria and I thought we would step back and finish our conversation from our first session on advantages and get a little more specific. We're getting a lot of feedback from parents. So what we've compiled is 5 reasons, the top 5 reasons why parents are choosing Advantages Middle East. And so we're going to break it down and sort of show how we differentiate ourselves from many of the other online school providers. Okay. There's a chat feature, so if you have any questions, feel free to chat. You can send your chats to everyone, or our moderator and host today, Mrs. Aziza, will also be happy to just take your chats. Okay. All right. So let's begin. Top 5 reasons. Number 1 is the technology. And of course, every online platform has technology, and some of the technology is pretty good. What separates us in our technology is basically these 6 things that you see listed on your screen. Number 1 is ease of use. Parents have told us that they've tried many platforms over the years, and I as a parent have tried many over the years also. But from the onboarding process to the daily use and management, both for the student and for the parent, our technology is extremely easy to use. And why is that? Well, it was developed by educators with a lot of input from families for educators and educated educators. I'm not talking about just school teachers. I'm talking also about educators within the home school and home education parents who need to monitor and check the progress of student work. So another great feature is the communication log and the fact that you can set it to whatever you need it to be. So if you want your child to communicate with the teacher, but as a parent, you want to be able to see those communications, you'll also be included and have access to all the communication that your student is sending out. If your student is a little older and you like him to build a little bit more of a bond with his teacher and you don't feel like you need to be involved, then you can set it for that feature also. Multiple language feature. We live in an international world. And so if your child is new to English, or if you're new to English, you can set the features for your home language. And I think there are over a dozen languages in there now, and all of the most common languages are in there, so I'm sure you will find something that will help and benefit you. The robust digital lessons will keep children from age kindergarten all the way up to engaged and stimulated. And also the real-time access to your transcripts. This is a big pain point for a lot of families, is that they just want to know where their child is on the path to graduation. Well, at any time, at the click of a button, you're able to see what courses your child has completed and where they are on the roadmap to finish and completing their high school studies. And of course, our warm and talented team is here to assist and guide you every step of the way. And lastly is the mobile app access. And this feature is a game changer for a lot of families who travel and don't want to lug big, hefty laptops around with them on their family vacation. Everything that's available on the laptop is also available on your mobile app, available in Apple and Android. Okay. And so number 1 is technology. Number 2 is the accreditation and making sure families have the peace of mind. So we offer advanced placement courses, and we're accredited by the College Board for those. We're also recognized by the NCAA for those aspiring student athletes. We're recognized by the Nevada Department of Education. So you have the seal of a U.S. state, and that gives a validity internationally. We're recognized by Cognia, which is one of the largest accreditation bodies in the world and the most recognized in the world as far as K-12 education. And so you have the peace of mind of knowing that your high school diploma and your transcripts are recognized. And lastly, the Department of State. And really, that's just a culmination of, because since we have all those other accreditations, and we've been around for as long as we have, it's nearly 17 years now, that the U.S. Department of State has us listed among preferred online providers, which basically means if they feel that their diplomats and staff should trust advantages, you certainly can. Okay. And just a little bit more about that. These are some of the schools and universities that our students have been accepted to worldwide. And okay. The next reason is talented and experienced leadership and staff. And we feel that this is extremely important. And this is the crux of our business. We're an online school, but we're not a technology. As far as our school, we're not a technology school. We are a people school that happens to leverage world-class technology in order to deliver better academic results. But make no mistake about it, those results could not be delivered without warm, caring, talented professional staff. Our staff are fully trained and experienced in the latest digital pedagogy. So they're not just classroom teachers, but they really understand online learning and how to use the tools and strategies in order to reach students. And it's headed by Dr. Audrey Lee, who's been a professional educator for over 20 years and has worked in every facet of education. She most recently was a head of school. So she will be managing and guiding and training our teachers, but we also have a special education needs expert who is an educational psychologist who's directing our success centers in Abu Dhabi. And we just have a wide range of talented professionals to make sure that your children are in good hands as far as the staff. So those are the top three reasons, and I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Gloria Brown, to share with you reasons 4 and 5.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today. One of the things that we think is really important to be able to give our kids, because it's an online school, to give them a well-rounded academic experience. And we're continually seeking partnerships to enhance the learner experience. And one of the things that we want to do for the student when they come in is do an assessment to make sure that to determine the student needs. And so we partner with the parent, and we've also partnered with iReady, which is an assessment company that will talk to the parents and talk to the teacher and assess the student to see where they are, so that we make sure that they have the needs that they have are being met. And so we will assess them, and then we will assess them throughout the year. We have 2 more tests that they do to make sure that they are on par of where they should be. And so that is monitored throughout the year between the parents and the teacher and the iReady system. The other thing that we're excited about is Arabic. So because of where we live, we get a lot of questions if we're able to offer Arabic. So we do offer Arabic and we'll be partnering with somebody else to offer Arabic in the upper grades. But one of the things that we have found is that it's offered in the upper grades, but there was a gap between the younger grades and the upper grades. So Arabic starts it's K through 5, and they offer a great experience for the kids, and it's fun and engaging. And they will get a live teacher once a week, and the kids are able to log on with no problem and have a great experience learning Arabic. And it's just so much fun. I don't speak Arabic, but when I saw this program, I just thought that it was just a great program to go ahead and add to our platform to give them that experience. So we're continually looking for partnerships that will enhance this experience for all our kids. The other thing that we have is, of course, our Success Center. And although there are a lot of students that want to have their education at home and online. We offer an option that you can go to physical center where we'll be supported. You can go 4 days a week or 2 days a week, and you can be supported and coached. There'll be facilitators there to be able to support your online learning. And that is going to be we have our Khalifa City Success Center, and we have our Ream Island Success Center and Osmond Success Center. And we're very excited about that. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll have another family hour and tell you all about that. But one of the things that I'm very excited about is a partnership with EStars. So we have incorporated gaming in our homeschool experience for many years. And what gaming does, I think, teaches, and it's almost an oxymoron because people think that some of these soft skills can't be learned through gaming. But I think that gaming can teach decision-making skills, teamwork skills, all of these skills that communication skills, they can be learned through gaming. And those are some of the skills there that our students and people need in real life and when they are in university, when they're in the workforce. And you know, as technology just grows, and our information is always at our fingertips, but it's all of these skills that our students need that are important to be resourceful, to be decision makers, to work as a team, and all of these things can be learned through gaming. And so we've incorporated gaming in our homeschool experience, and I'm really excited to have Aryeah here with us with EStars, and he's going to tell us all about what EStars is here to offer us for our kids. Aryeah.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you, Gloria. Let me just switch over my slides.
Gloria, you got one more to go. That's 4 features.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry. I got excited over Aryeah. Oh, one of the things that we talk about parents all the time about how they are kind of priced out of feeling that they can't have a valuable and quality education for their children because they can't afford it in the private schools or things here. But there's no reason why a child cannot have a quality education when we combine your online learning and the Success Center together. And one of the things that we're able to offer, because we're an online school and we have our Success Center and our Learning Center, is to have affordable fees and flexible payment options. So our fees start from K through 8 for $16,000, at 9 to 12, $20,000, and we have different payment options. And one of the things that is important to us, and Jeffrey and I, we tried really hard to be able to give this option to parents, that they're able not to be priced out of a quality education for their children. So anyway, you can reach out to us and we can go ahead and talk more about our fees. But now, Aryeah, you're on now.
Thanks, Gloria. Thank you very much. I'll just switch over to my slides. Just let me know if you can see that okay. Can you guys see those? Very good. Is that a yes or a no? I'm not sure if everyone can see the slides.
Yes, we can.
Awesome, perfect. Okay, great, thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be here today and be invited by the team to speak to you a little bit about gaming and education and the impact it can have. I think it'd be helpful to just give you a bit of background to me. So I've been in the region since 1997, so I've been here for quite some time. And I've been working in education for about 15 years now. And I have to be honest, I do really like gaming, so I'm a perfect fit for this. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my favorite video game, or my first kind of video game, console game I ever played, which was Super Mario Brothers. The game was developed in 1985 by Shigeru Miyamoto. He also developed Donkey Kong and Zelda as well. But the reason I want to talk about this game in particular is it's a game I think a lot of people are familiar with or heard about. But I also think it's a phenomenal example of how video games can use thoughtful design language and iterating on a core concept to help us learn really complex subjects. Same exact way that we do in a classroom. You know, in a classroom, when you want to teach a really tricky subject, you go down to the foundation and the core of that. You break it down to the most simple and basic parts of it. And then over time, you build and you iterate and you stretch and you try to look at the problem at a different angle. And I think Mario, in however basic it is a really, really good example of how video games leverage that as well, and can teach us really exciting things. So this is level 1 of Mario. So literally you turn on the game, you start the game, this is what you see. And it's actually quite unique because it's the first time, or one of the only few times in the game where Mario is not dead center in the middle of the screen. He's actually a little bit to the left. And this is intentionally done to help create some negative space to the right of Mario and actually encourage you to move Mario to the right. And the first thing it teaches you is that, oh, you control the character Mario in this game. And the purpose of the game is to essentially move from the left-hand side of the screen to the right-hand side of the screen and get to the end of the level. And so the game gives you this really safe environment. There's nothing here, there's clouds in the sky, there's nothing here to hurt you, for you to figure out the controls and understand the core concept of moving Mario around. As you progress and you move Mario a little bit to the right, the game reinforces that positive decision by moving the camera with you. And so you kind of progress the level, take a few steps to the right, and you're met with your first enemy in the game. And this is a really kind of clever way of how the game teaches you things. The game introduces this first ever enemy, 3 seconds into playing the game. And this is intentional because the enemy is there to teach you a core concept within the game. So the little Goomba on the right there comes towards you. You know it's an enemy because it doesn't look very friendly, but it's also the first thing on the screen that you interact with that's moving that isn't you. And if you don't figure out the core mechanic of jumping, the Goomba will eventually just come closer and closer to you and kill your character. And you start from the very, very beginning of the level again. And that repetitive loop of coming to the Goomba, getting attacked, having to go start from the beginning, that cycle is really, really important because that teaches us those core concepts. Only when you figure out how to jump are you able to get past that enemy. And so after you figure out how to jump and get past that enemy, either you jump on it or jump over it, the game immediately starts building on that core concept of jumping. It teaches you how to jump on top of items. It teaches you how to jump over items. The level takes less than a minute to finish. There's about 15 times in that less than a minute that the game iterates on that core concept of jumping. And I think it's really interesting because it does this without using an instruction manual, without having anyone tell you what to do. It does this by the design language, by the environment, and by that repetitive loop that we were talking about. One of the things I love about this game, just a fun fact, is the entire game is 32 kilobytes. To give you an idea of how big that is, if you took a screen grab on your phone, that screen grab image is an order of magnitude bigger than the entire Super Mario game. And so the designers had to be really creative and really clever in how they would do this. And so if you look at the clouds in this level, and you look at the light green kind of shrubs next to Mario, you'll notice they're actually the exact same shape, just in a different color. And there's examples of this throughout the game where they've had to use creative design to come up with ways of reducing the file size of the game to make it fit on the original Nintendo cartridges. But this game was made in 1985. The gaming industry has come on leaps and bounds since then. It's now larger than the music and film industry combined, and is growing rapidly year over year. In education, when we talk about how we often say the vast majority of careers of the future haven't been created yet or invented yet, We firmly believe that a lot of those careers are actually going to be coming out of the gaming industry, esports, and the game development field. And I think it's an interesting exposure to gaming and exposure to esports is really valuable because it's exposure to a vast kind of network of career opportunities. So when most people typically think about gaming, they typically think about kind of programming and the kind of the back end of making the games. But the actual career opportunities are significantly broader than that. There's a whole production side with audio, video, music production, sound design. There's a whole publishing industry that sits behind video games, similar to the book and music industry. Obviously, there's the program that goes really, really deep into mixed reality and all the tools that go around building video games and making them come together. There's an entire art industry, creative art industry that sits behind creating those assets, all the way down to kind of texture design to the visual effects that you kind of come to know with movies that are now in video games. And then there's some really interesting design elements of, customer design and like user design elements of going through how does it feel like to be in the game, how does it feel like to navigate the game, and then really compelling story design that you wouldn't think about that would be in kind of games now that are incredibly well told. Then there's the entire business side of running one of the largest industries in the world. So you have the typical, HR, marketing, procurement. For games and esports in particular, you have live event management that pulls all this together. So exposure to esports and exposure to the gaming industry, I think, is exposure to these fields. And I think it does a service to be cognizant of the fact that there are really, really broad opportunities that come out of this industry and exposure to this industry. And just the last thing from my end, I want to speak to you about a little bit is about engagement and inclusion. So we know that esports in particular is a really powerful tool in making gaming a much more kind of social experiment and social experience. But we now are seeing a lot of data coming out to show that students that engage in gaming and in esports are actually more inclined to go into the STEM fields. And students that weren't interested in the STEM fields, gaming is a really, really interesting tool in engaging them into those fields as well, that educators can leverage to engage students in what they're passionate about, to teach them something that's really, really valuable. It dovetails really nicely with the 21st century learning and the 4 C's of critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. But recent research has actually shown that its impact is broader than we initially thought. It's driving information literacy, local and global citizenship, leadership, as well as emotional intelligence in students that engage with it at a high level. The inclusion angle is one that's really, really compelling and interesting for me personally as well. I've seen working in education, the value that both technology, but then also esports and gaming has had in driving inclusion within schools, bringing students to different backgrounds, different abilities together, and creating unified teams. And the example I want to give today was Nicholas. So Nicholas is a esports pro. He plays professionally. This is his full-time job. He plays for a professional football league in Stuttgart. But Nicholas also suffers from a brittle bone disease. But that hasn't limited his ability to compete in sport at the highest level. And he's using his platform to spread awareness and also pave the way for inclusion in esports. And you're seeing more and more game developers on the software side and hardware developers creating more and more tools to drive inclusion in esports. And a very, very encouraging and compelling thing. So I want to thank you very much for your time today. I'll hand you back over to the Advantages team.
Thank you, Aryeah. It's a very, very informative presentation. I learned something different. That's the second time I've seen it, and I learned a lot this time that I must have missed the first time. Thank you so much. If we have any questions, feel free to ask. It looks like we have several.
We have one right now.
All right, I'll go ahead and start going through the ones that I'm seeing here. The first question is for I will go with this one. Are esports athletes for games like FIFA, Valorant, Fortnite, and so on included in this program? I guess that question is for Aryeah.
Yeah. So we have at EStars, we have, first of all, excellent question. And the fact that you know those games is very, very impressive. We offer two kind of programs. One is a after school club, and where it's very, very akin to running a football or soccer program in your school. There's coaches, there's training sessions, there's seminar programs, there's practices. We do leverage a lot of the popular esports platforms and games, but we do steer quite far away from any of the violent ones. So some of the games on those lists are a little bit violent for our taste. So we try to focus on more team-based, non-violent games. There's plenty of them that are played at the elite level. So we try to leverage those as much as possible. The other program that we have that relates to esports is the esports BTech program, which is a university-grade qualification, a vocational-based qualification in esports. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Aryeah. Looks like our next question is for Advantages Middle East. If I do Advantages Middle East, will my child have trouble transferring into a Dubai private school? I'll go ahead and tackle this one. The short answer is no. Your child should not have any trouble transferring into a Dubai private school. Dubai private schools are governed by the Knowledge and Human Development Authority, also known as KHDA, and they require a transfer certificate from an accredited school if you're coming from outside Dubai. If you're enrolled in Advantages Middle East, you will officially be enrolled and governed by the state of Nevada, the Nevada Department of Education, but your school is also accredited by Cognia. So it meets the international standards to be accepted anywhere in the world. When a child transfers out of Advantages, you will get your transcripts that will be stamped, and you will also get a transfer certificate, should you request it, in order to take that child to any school that you see fit. Okay. L'Oreal has a question. What happens if I need to leave in the middle of the school year? Can we continue if we move back to Spain? Gloria, you want to take that one?
Sure. The beauty of online schooling is you can take it with you. So if you have, and that's one of the reasons that a lot of families choose online school is because, as you know, even living here in the UAE, it's such a transient place. And we have families that come in, say they're going to be here for a couple of years, or they want to travel. So you can just take it with you. If you transfer, countries, or the parents go to another job or anything like that, back to Spain, you can take it with you. And you don't have to skip a beat or anything like that. So then that's a beauty of online schooling. You have that freedom to do that.
Beautiful. Fantastic, Gloria. The next question that Aziza received is, it looks like this is for Aryeah. Are there any internships or ways to enhance a college application through gaming?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So the BTech program I mentioned earlier, so that's a university grade qualification. It's a 1 to 2 year program that you can do while studying in high school. It dovetails with the academic calendar, and ultimately to vocational training accreditation. It's equivalent to, up to a certain level, it's equivalent to 1.5 A levels. As far as if you want to do cross accreditation with a A-level examination. It's accepted from universities all around the world. And it's a really, really good practical way of studying to get more of a vocational-based training. It is also a great pathway to go directly into industry and start working as well. So there's those two streams that the BTech programs lend themselves really well to. They're accredited by Pearson Education internationally and accepted by universities around the world.
That's fantastic, Aryeah. Thank you very much. That's really, really good news. That's very exciting. The BTech component of it is really, really exciting. Are there any non-sports related games? What are some of those? Aryeah, well, you're coming at you.
So we do have a number of non-sports related games. So we have obviously Minecraft that we leverage a lot, and so we'll have design competitions and tournaments around Minecraft. So an example of that would be that we would give students a limited number of blocks and ask them to design the most compelling restaurant they could that would seat 20 people. And they would have to have these design tournaments where they'd have to quickly try to come up with a design that's feasible, that's workable, that'll allow seating for that capacity. We also use a game called Rocket League. It's kind of like a car-based. I wouldn't say it's a sport, but it kind of is a sport. It's basically football with cars. 3-on-3, and so we build tactics and team-based events around that as well. And then there are a whole host of other games that we have that are non-sports based that will extend out to use Roblox and a few other platforms as well to engage students.
That's fantastic. It's really, really good. Let's see what else we have here. Can BTech be incorporated into grade 11 courses?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. So the way that the BTech works is there's a level 2 and a level 3 BTech. The level 3 is the one that's equivalent to an A level. So that is for students 16 and above, and the level 2 is for 14 and above. Okay. And so there's broad implication on you could do it dovetailing with your existing program at advantages. And so it works really, really well sitting alongside an existing program. It requires a few hours a week, and we work really closely with our partners at Advantages to dovetail what we do with what they do to be able to have one.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you can tell from Aryeah and Gloria and I, we are really, really, really excited about this collaboration with EStars. This is it's going to be a great, and the ultimate beneficiaries in all this are our children, our students. They're just going to have access to wonderful educational opportunities to really set themselves up for bright futures. It's very exciting stuff. Next question. My older daughter completed her studies in Kenya. We'd like her to receive a U.S. diploma. Will she need to take your entire high school diploma program? Gloria?
No, she actually does not need to take the whole U.S. diploma. What we do is we look at the transcript, what she has completed, and we will evaluate the transcript and see what we need to do. Now, for a U.S. diploma, because we're an accredited U.S. school, they have to have civics and government and American history. But other than that, we will work with you and look at the transcripts and see what is available for the student to do. So you do not necessarily have to take the whole 4-year program. We'll see where the student is and evaluate the transcript and see where what courses need to be taken to be able to give you your high school diploma.
Thank you, Gloria. Fantastic. That's a very, very good opportunity for a lot of students around the world. So we have a question from Roberto. What are some ways we will collaborate with other students through gaming? And I guess that's a question for us, Gloria. I'll chime in. I can tell you that even though Advantages Middle East through EStars is providing this opportunity, it's not going to be exclusive to Advantages Middle East students. Any student in the UAE, if your school or your homeschool program is not offering gaming. We feel that this is such an essential part of education that we're opening up our doors and you can join our gaming club. And we'll have tournaments throughout the year. We're actually having a Minecraft tournament right now. It's getting ready to go into its second week. And we'll have clubs and different activities throughout the year. And if you're not an Advantaged Middle East student, it'll be for a nominal fee, but certainly something that every family you'll be able to access our gaming platform if you want to. Our main priority is to make sure that we keep a safe and healthy environment for our kids. So it is a proprietary platform. You do need a login to join it. We'll have a zero tolerance for any type of bullying or harassment within the platform. Other than that, please come in, join us, whether you're one of our students or not, and have fun.
And I think the gaming in itself lends itself to collaboration with other students. So, in the partnering with EStars, we're able to give a safe platform for students to come in, and of course, families and parents can always check on the kids. That's really important. But I know from experience that that's been one of the biggest things for us, is that we're very aware of what is out there and making sure that our kids are safe. And that's really important. So to be able to bring kids and they're able to game together and come together to game in a safe environment is really important. So that's one of the reasons that we're really excited about being able to partner with EStars, because they're able to offer that for our students.
Fantastic. Connie, my daughter is 18 years old, but her academic level is way below her age. Do you have an elevated high school program? Gloria, you want to take that one?
Yeah, because I'm a mother of 5 kids, and 2 of my kids are special needs kids. And one of the things that was important is to be able to offer these kids a way to a high school diploma. So we have a high school diploma with 13 credits. That it's a general studies diploma that you're able to take these courses, and we are able to give these kids a high school diploma, so they are able to finish these courses in high school, and at their own pace, at their own level. Then we're able to give your daughter a high school diploma. So if you reach out to us, we can see where we will assess your daughter. We will see where she is. We will put a course map together for her, so that we're able to give her that high school diploma. So that was really important to me, to be able to offer this to students of people of determination. So we can do that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Gloria. And thank you, Aryeah. Are there any other questions? Connie, and I just want to chime in. I'm really, really glad that you asked that question, because I've known many people throughout my life that never, for one reason or never, finished their high school diploma. Some went back to get their GED in their 30s even, and they still, the sense of pride and accomplishment that comes from finishing a high school diploma, there's nothing like it. So I'm really, really glad that we have this opportunity to offer a dual diploma track. Typically, a college prep track is 24 credits for students who need to go to university. But if that's not your plan, and you just want a certificate that says that I have met the basic requirements, that I'm an educated person and I'm qualified to work at your company, as Gloria mentioned, that general education diploma is only 13 credits. And we have a wonderful, wonderful talented staff that can support any student, regardless of your age. This isn't just stopped for 18-year-olds. We can work with people into their 20s and 30s even that want to go back and complete their high school diploma. It's a great opportunity.
Another thing that I wanted to mention is that we have just partnered with association that works with specifically with kids, special needs kids. And are we able to say who it is now, Jeffrey?
We can't officially say who it is, yes.
Okay, so we have partnered with this association organization called Sunshine, and we're really excited about these partnerships that we are developing, because these are the things that will give our students and parents the options that they have for to be able to give the kids the education that is personalized, that is needed. And so Sunshine works with kids on the spectrum, with just the parents to be able to facilitate their education at their level. So we're really excited to be able to do that with Sunshine and partner with them and work with them to be able to give the kids and parents the resources that they need, whether it be workshops to help them with special needs, to get the education that they need. And one of the things with that I'm especially excited about EStars is because, you know, that gaming does not limit if you're physically unable to participate in different sports, you're able to do that with online gaming and stuff and esports. So you have that sense of accomplishment anyway. So, and I know a lot of people shy away from gaming, but I think that it adds value to the kids' education and even people's lives now, you know, so we're excited about those partnerships.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Does anyone else have any questions? We call it a family information hour, but if we wrap up in 45 minutes, that's still good. Well, listen, I'd like to thank you all for being here today, for sharing your questions and your ideas. And, you know, we started this company off with the tradition of reaching out to the community, and we'll continue to do that. Our plan right now is to have these family information hours every 2 weeks on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock. So please tell your friends and your colleagues and your neighbors to join us every other Saturday. And we look forward to hearing from you and hearing your thoughts. Thank you all. Thank you all very, very much. Be in touch. This recording will be available, so we'll send it out to everyone.
And thank you to Aryeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aryeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, thank you, Gloria.
Thank you for having me, guys. It was great.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.